Going to be talking about is, well, what is a hub world? A hub world, what some of you might be wondering is, okay, well, how does it differ? What makes a hub world or classifies a level as a hub world? Well, Naughty Dog are definitely best known for more linear level design. And I'll break this down in the most simplest terms, all right? The simplest term. Linear level design is much more, as you can say, of a kind of a corridor spacing. You go from A to B. Now, obviously, it's not going to be as simple as just walk straight, because that would be boring and bad level design. But you cannot really stray or go off the intended path. The level designer and the environment artist have full control over where you can go and what you can and cannot see. Open world is much more of, when you think of something like, say, Assassin's Creed, or that of Red Dead Redemption 2, GTA 5, where there are entire cities built up around the player, so they don't necessarily have to just focus on the main missions. They can go off dart in different directions in order to actually go and see different elements, consume different types of missions as well, and just be entertained in a multitude of ways. That is the fun element of it that keeps it engaging and doesn't have an impact, shall we say, too much on the story itself. And it's these kind of differences. Now, Hub World used to be slightly different to what it is now, or how I remember it. A Hub World used to sometimes be that of kind of a safe space for the player. If you think of that in Destiny, what's called, I believe it is the Crucible. I hope someone corrects me if I'm wrong, but it would be where I think I have said it wrong. But think about it, it's the space where, and I'm sorry because I haven't played Destiny in a while, but I always remember the space where you would go and could meet with the other players, socialize with them, go buy equipment for your character, all of these different elements there that would make this space a hub world, because it was where you would decide what to do, where to go, and also have safe interaction. You can think of it in a also sense of Stormwind or Ironforge in World of Warcraft. Obviously, World of Warcraft is traditionally an open world game, but that kind of space where you'd be able to go into an area, it's quite safe, and you can have choices that impacted your character but would not put them at risk. But more recently, we're seeing a huge development of this, and I think a lot of it goes back to, well, should we say recently, that I think we can appreciate is that of the Dishonored series and also the Deus Ex reinstallments. Because of the fact that you go to these smaller open worlds. You think about Prague, for example, in, what was it? It was Mankind Divided, that was it. And people wonder if I actually play games, because I am just struggling with names today. But this was a space, Prague, where you were in this level. It had its own multitude of little events that you could explore, whether that be side activities or where you'd follow on for your main missions, these kind of elements. But it was a one solid level, you would leave, revisit, and all of this. And we're kind of seeing that now as Naughty Dog have been experimenting with this over the last few years. When we think about where it all started, I think it comes from, and I could be wrong, I do not know why they've decided to switch, but I can tell that there's something they've been thinking about. Just we as players have seen the recent changes. I think it originally started with Madagascar and Uncharted 4, which is then expanded upon in Lost Legacy, and now it's in here present in Last of Us 2. And again, some great design choices, and great to see the evolution of a team as well, and their thought process on how it's changed. All these games are great and definitely worth playing. But we're seeing their kind of design process and thoughts come behind it, with what they've tried to take and reapply in their theories from their linear levels to that now of the more open worlds with the use of landmarks, weenies, and much more. So a hub world essentially is, my fellow LDs and game gurus, is essentially a space which has a lot of options in terms that you can do, but only kind of active in that space, if you will. It is a smaller, should we say, if you imagine open world games as the whole cake, hub worlds are kind of just one slice of that cake there. I'm talking about cake because I've been on a diet and I definitely miss cake. But yes, that is kind of, well, what is a hub world? So I hope that explains it there.